All right, good evening. It is Tuesday, December 5th, 2023 at precisealgorithmtrading.com. And let's talk about the markets today. So, this is our automated trading system, and this is the Dow futures. And I don't think, yeah, it traded once today, and it was a non event, so 15 bucks, who cares? Um, the Russell that I'm working on, this is still not ready for prime time, but I am tracking it and I am working to get these dips to be not as bad. So, but in general, this is a nice upsloping equity curve, so I'm going to start using it here. And I will, when I get more time, especially over the weekends, is when I can run these scenarios and figure out what it's going to take to get that out of there. So, um, it looks like a down day today. The markets were down anyway, so the this thing, if it had been live. By the way, I'm not trading the other one because I really want to move to this. So that's the trades for today. Obviously, mostly negative. One winning trade in there, and then the Nasdaq, which obviously we are trading live and have been for a while now, and it's been modified, but it's been a while back now. So this is 6 months worth of data, and it traded a lot today. So I don't know how many trades that is. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 trades. So yeah, and the majority of them are red, but we had a couple winners, and I'm glad we got that last one at the end of the day. It made it a lot less painful. So, um, but at the end of the day, you just have to have your right capital in these accounts. So painful is it's quote unquote painful because eventually this will come back. There's no guarantees, but that's why you trade. So that's why it works, and it's got the right uh, odds in its favor. So even with these drawdowns, eventually you get enough winners to make up for it. So, um, all right, moving on to Thinkorswim, and let's flip to SPX first. So this is the S&P 500. It is walking up the T line. Sure is acting like it wants to pull back. We're under the 3 average true ranges, and we're bullish over here on the weekly. But a pullback looks, you know, we're kind of in that pullback zone right now. So we'll see if this thing still continues to have legs. It sure looks like it needs to pull back further. Although it's really just walking sideways here, big time. Let's look at that over here on this, a little cleaner with all the average true ranges on it. If you put a box around this, or since I have the levels tool up here, we'll just put that on here. I mean, if this is a box, whichever way it breaks is going to be telling. And right now, it sure seems like still should break to the downside. So, we'll watch that. That's just been walking sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trading days. And December, I should say. Uh, Well, actually, since we're into December, it's only showing January, so it's generally positive as far as the S&P 500 goes, from or flat from now until March. Well, there's December. 60% of the time we're down 0.39%. So it's an average of 0.39%, but 60% of the time, so that's pretty flat. Okay. Moving forward, the industrials are still up there. The Russell pulled back pretty good. The NASDAQ is walking pretty sideways here. IYT, I actually put a put trade on today just because I want to have it come back to the midway here or even down to here. And if I'm wrong, it'll get stopped out up here at the top, but it sure looked like it was at least momentarily reversing, this is not a trend trade, so don't take my advice on that one. It's actually part of the bullish percent indexes that we were looking at last night. Since the IYT flipped as hard as it did, I'm just assuming it's going to pull back somewhat before it goes higher. And I'm guessing we're going to see that in the charts before we get a chance to, or before it really takes back off to the upside. Or it's just going to stop out. So, that's those markets. Let's look at oil, which is still down. And we got a bounce today, or getting one into tonight's action off the lower Bollinger Band, which we've had before and it failed, although it did go up for a few days. So, yeah, I'm kind of watching this for a reversal right now, at least on the short term, which is really the daily chart. So I'll be watching for it on the hourly chart first. And if I go long, it's going to be for really a short term thing, and it's going to be because we go long on the hourly. I'll set stops off of the hourly and targets, and if it turns into a daily, then that would be great. I'm assuming we're not going to get it to turn into a weekly anytime soon. So, unless there's something blows up overseas. What else? Gold, GLD. Gold's pulling back. This is kind of what I'm looking for in some of the other markets. And you can see how it's actually holding that average true range line. I mean, built a tail right there. Let's look at BITO, BITO. So Bitcoin's racing higher off of this bullish wedge patterns and whatnot. So that's interesting. Coin, same thing. So, and TLT for fun, because I haven't looked at bonds in a bit. That's not one I would have jumped on. But it would have worked out. So, all right, that's enough for that for now. Let's flip over to stockcharts.com and take a look at the bullish percent indexes. The Dow didn't move today. It sure looks like it's going to roll over. The NYA didn't move today. The transports added on 2 new X's today, up 10%. That's wild. NASDAQ added on a new X and went up 0.48%. The SPX minus 0.29%, so these aren't moving. The OEX didn't move. The NDX didn't move. So these all look extended to the upside. We do have a jobs report out on Friday, or an employment report, I think. Tends to move the market bearishly because it's the first one of the month. But you know, none of that matters. We're just going to play the charts the way we see them. And right now, they're still looking like they're hanging in there pretty well. So that's what I got for you guys for tonight. Until next time, good trading and have a great evening.